Welcome, fans of our channel, subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. If you are a fan of rom-coms, like I'm not, you may enjoy this episode of the Around the Ballpark podcast. We are going to talk about this movie, The Materialists, that is coming out in mid-June. But before we do that, Darren, would you mind sharing a word from our proud sponsors at Nashville Tax Solutions?
I did not expect you to start that way. That really cracked me up. So, Palm Bay, Fort Pierce, are tax problems weighing you down? Behind on filings? Are you facing a lien? Nashville Tax Solutions is here with their expertise, with the dedication and expertise that you need. Their experienced team handles the IRS, so you do not have to. But don't just take our word for it. Hear what some clients have had to say. Things like Chris Bennett and his team turned a nightmare into peace of mind. They're sharp, they're honest, and they truly care. So don't let tax stress take over your life. Call 855-627-4829 and visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com today. Nashville Tax Solutions, real help and real results.
Thank you, Darren, and thank you, Nashville Tax Solutions and Christopher Bennett. I hope you're enjoying this series. We certainly are, just dissecting and previewing, I should say, 30 top movies that are coming out this summer. And so this movie here, The Materialist, is coming out on Friday, June the 13th. And here is a quick synopsis. A young New York City matchmaker's lucrative business gets complicated as she finds herself torn between the perfect match and her imperfect ex. Darren, your thoughts? We saw the preview of this. We're going to share here in just a few minutes of our ratings for this movie. But this is certainly a romantic comedy, as we call it, a rom-com. So your thoughts on what you saw in the trailer, and are you a rom-com guy?
So a couple of things. That's why I'm looking down right now. I want to look at my notes because I have a lot to say. Okay, not a rom-com guy, though one can slip through the cracks from time to time. Pretty Woman, very, very enjoyable, very fun. And then there was of course, that's it. Back to you, Bill. No, they're nice, they're pleasant, but look, people of a certain age might really enjoy them. Just a little light. It's like the Hallmark movie. Let's meet at the Christmas tree farm, which, it's a blessing. It's wonderful, but that's what it is. Oh, I hope these kids make it. It's a nice, safe date movie. Let's say that, myself and my wife, we just met and we go see a nice rom-com, right? Same thing. Oh, you know what's another good one? Harry Met Sally. That's another very pleasant.
Harry Met Sally. Bull Durham is another one. You can put that there, sort of. And then Groundhog Day was another one. And Juno was another good one.
Juno was fantastic.
Yeah, Juno, Sideways, I think Enough Said. There's some good ones there. The interesting thing I wonder, and I'm not asking you to answer this question because you're a man like me, but why those fans of the rom-coms, like if you're having a depressing day or whatnot, like I'm not talking about the feel-good Hallmark ones, but like some of the rom-coms where like you just cry, like I guess that's a separate genre, the tearjerker. I'm not sure if that's a separate than this or not, but like if you're already depressed and sad, like why put on a movie that's going to just pull out the Kleenexes and the tissues and all that kind of stuff? I don't know. Would you call that a separate genre, or are those?
No, it's a separate genre. No, it's just for us. It's a separate genre. I mean, it's for the same reason that people's significant others, they'll talk about peace and love, but boy, they love watching, the murder mystery. Mystery. This one killed this serial killer. Killed this man. What are you doing? But if I want to watch something with a fight scene, I can't watch that. But I can certainly watch, I don't know, about the stranger who goes in the Hillside Strangler. They love. What are we doing? Why are we watching that?
Right now, because I mean, that brings up a good point. Like something like The Materialists, would that be considered the same category as The Notebook? Like one may be more romantic comedy, and the other one might be just that gushy, mushy stuff. But technically, there's some comedy in there. Where it may not be your cup of tea, but it is. So let me go across here the ratings for our panel, I guess you would call them. So there's 5 of us that basically preview these movies and tell you what we think about them, and we may get them completely wrong. But The Materialists, I went ahead and gave that a 7.5 on my end, a little bit higher. I was surprised. 7.5 on my end. Darren with an 8, I believe it was. And if I'm wrong with some of these, I apologize. Materialists, a 5 for Eileen, a 4 for Aiden, and a 5 from Dakota. Was that correct? Was yours an 8 here?
Mine, yes, and I'll tell you why. Would I give it an 8 for myself? No, but it's a safe couples movie. It's a safe date movie. So I will always be the marketing person, and it's a safe date movie. So because the people in it, they're good actors. Dakota Johnson is wonderful, but let's be honest, right? You're watching it, you're like, is that Anne Hathaway? It's like they couldn't get Anne Hathaway, so let's get Dakota Johnson. I mean, and Pascal, he's great. Though he's on Last of Us, you know what happened there. Nobody wants to talk about that. He should still be on that show. But it's a meh. Like I gave it an 8 because people are gonna like it, and like I said, Dakota Johnson, she's lovely. But meh. Would I love it? No, but it'll do well because why? People, significant others of a certain age, will love to go see it because it's a night out, have a little wine, go see it, and it's a nice, safe date movie. But
it is, and it's an interesting weekend. For me, what I'm surprised about is, so this is Friday the 13th, right? And so the 2 movies coming out are Materialists and How to Train Your Dragon, which we're going to be discussing in another video. Another one, 28 years later, comes out on June the 20th, so it's a week later. So I feel like the ball was missed there. Like, how do we not have, with all the horror movies that are coming out here in this season during the summer, feels strange that there's not one on Friday the 13th. Like, I feel like that's a missed opportunity there. So, but getting back to this movie, so you're going to have 2 different types. You're going to have the family that goes and sees, How to Train Your Dragon, and then you're going to have the couples and date nights, like you mentioned, that are going to want to see The Materialists. So you'll have your pick. I think this is going to be one of those weekends where both movies will do pretty well. Dragon will do a little bit better because it's a family movie and you have more people. But I think it'll be a good weekend overall. For nothing that's going to blow out the box office numbers or anything like that. But I think this is, if you're looking at rom-coms, I think this is going to be one on the safer side that you're not going to be too disappointed.
Agreed.
It was interesting. I looked some research on some of the worst rom-coms. Was listed as Because I Said So, Down to You, Serving Sarah, Material Girls, and A Little Bit of Heaven were like on the top of the worst of the worst. I have not seen any of those, although I am obviously a Friends fan, so anything that Matthew Perry does, but I skipped Sarah. I did not serve Sarah. I skipped Sarah.
I skipped her too.
Yeah, so skipped her too. Yeah, so guys, thank you for watching this one. I think.
Oh, real quick though, Mike, just want to say this 2 seconds. I know we're saying goodbye, real quick. So, for those of you who are watching this, maybe for the first time, we've been pretty accurate so far. When we reviewed Final Destination Bloodlines, we both gave it. You and I gave it like 8s and 8.5s. It already has made more money than the original Final Destination.
Really, I did not. Breaking news! I did not know that. That is a
So they're very happy with that.
Which
means
that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
More.
Yeah, and so our conglomerate rating, or overall here, looking on an average of a 7 based on, we've had some 5s and some 8s. So looking at a 7 overall between all of us. So hope you enjoy this movie. We'll be back tomorrow with yet another episode with yet another movie. Thank you so much for joining. And until next time, we'll see you around the ballpark.